All right, as the video you're about to see started rather abruptly, I thought I would show you what I am going to do. I'm going to do just a brief introduction, but I want to use this baby, which I just bought, which is, of course, a tripod. And just to show you, you got the screw at top, which I assume is the right size for a camera. They all have the threaded holes in the bottom. So you could use this for an actual camera. I'm using it for my phone. And this is the attachment for the phone. You can either use that threaded hole, which you already have. You already have all the different ways you can swivel it 360 degrees there, but that's with this plastic hole. If you wanted even more variety of movement, you've got this hole, that threaded hole to screw in there, so you've got even more stuff you could play with. I am just going to use this one, set it up, and do the introduction. I just wanted to show you that I've got this tripod, so I'm going to use my phone for well, actually, I used my phone for the whole video. I am going to use the phone on this tripod just to do a brief introduction, but I wanted to show you that, and here we go. Just to show you what I have done, I have used, in fact, the metal insert in there with the threads. The plastic threaded part is actually back here. So now, with that setup, you have the option of swiveling it there, and also up top you can swivel it. So I'm going to try and set up this whole thing. This also expands. That's just a spring-loaded thing, so you pull it out as far as you need, you put the phone in there, and then you're good to go. So I'm going to do that and be back on. Good afternoon. Just testing the new Arkon, A-R-K-O-N tripod, and as I said before, doing a brief introduction. This will be nice for when I don't have the laptop handy. Stupid airplanes. I prefer to just do everything on the laptop because then it's already in iMovie. I don't have to do any extra steps. It's all cut and dry. But obviously, when I'm outside, when I'm moving around, what have you, using the phone is easier. So I bought this tripod just for that reason. And the thing is, right now it's set up on the table. But if you're out and about, I just saw a video yesterday where they showed this. Just having a tripod handy and attached to your phone makes it much easier to hold the phone if you're holding it by the legs of the tripod instead of, having to actually hold the phone and do it that way. So yeah, we're going to be looking at this generator I made and how it's working with the solar panel and with a load on it. And just to let you know, that fridge, I got it from the guy upstairs in this shop space, and he just gave it to me because he bought another one. So I used it for the video, and I sanded and spray painted the top and put it online for $60 and ended up selling it for $40. So that was a nice little thing there. It's not like I'm getting rich, but at least I have a little bit of money trickling in. So let's watch the generator. All right, to start, I've got this mini fridge that the guy upstairs just donated to me because he bought a new one. I've got the backup generator that I built, which is basically just an inverter there is a 12-volt deep cell battery inside, which is being charged by the solar panel. So I've got the solar panel and the controller that came with it going down into the battery, and then the battery coming up to the inverter. I've got this meter that will tell me volts, amps, watts. It's actually made for reading how much the cost is. You can program how much you pay per kilowatt hour and figure out how much you're paying for each individual appliance or whatever you want to check out. But I am going to use this just to see the watts that I am pulling. I'm going to first plug the refrigerator in and then pull some other things out here and keep loading this thing up until I hopefully can get somewhere close to 800 watts. And then just see how well the solar panel keeps the generator charged up, and just go from there, because this is obviously a homemade one, and I want to continue making these. I've got some ideas how to improve it, and there's not really a lot. As I said, it's basically a battery and an inverter, and you can add some bells and whistles like the lighters that you have in cars that you can use for like a 12-volt charging port and things like that. But that's it. That's where I'm starting. That's what I'm doing. All right, I wanted to show you this is reading 105 watts on the high end. It reads out a low and a high. We'll just go with the high. So there is that, and I'm going to plug a fan and a battery charger in. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to plug another extension cord, because this will not go into that, unfortunately. So yeah, I've got some finagling to do, and then we'll see what those two things read. Alright, I have reset the whole thing. I have turned that off, but now I have the refrigerator, the fan, and the charger plugged in. I should probably... Okay, the fan is off. So, now I'm going to turn this on, and... Okay, that's just the battery charger, so 37 watts. And with the fan on full tilt, no less, it is 95 watts. So 95 plus this was pulling 105. So get this stuff out of the way so this other car can pull in and out. So with the fan, the battery charger, and the refrigerator, we're pulling about 200 watts out of this. I wanted to load it even more, but well, at least I'll see if the solar panel can keep up with the appliances I've got now. And you can see we've even got the time readout. I'll just quickly go through these functions. Okay, there's watts, kilowatt hours, volts, 117, 61 hertz. Let me turn this so you can see it. Amps, almost 1 amp, and that is power factor 0.96. I'm not sure what that means. I'm assuming that's a percentage of, I don't know, I'm gonna have to look it up. And okay, 35 watts low. Now I believe what happened there was I only had the battery charger running, that this started reading that before I turned the fan on, because I turned that on and then I turned the fan on, because now it's at 105. Although that is the high, it might take that much. I thought there was a, well, 105 amps. I was going to say it might take that much to kickstart the motor, to kickstart, yeah, the motor on the fan, but I don't know. See, I when it comes to electricity, I know the bare basics, but when you get into any kind of specifics, you start to lose me. It's complicated. But at least I know I have an up and running system. So, you know, the next time we get a hurricane through here, I should be able to hold on to some power for at least a little while. We'll see. Well, I can't even see what I'm doing because it is so bright out here. Alright, I moved everything around because, well, not the panel, of course, but everything else was getting too much sun. I moved... Wow, the fan just kicked up big time. I don't know if you could hear that, but it just revved up a lot all of a sudden. That was strange. anyways, the solar panel is not getting too much sun, of course, but everything else, the refrigerator, the generator, everything else is just out in the sun and in the heat, and I had to do something to fix that up. Alright, it says it's at 11.5 volts, and it shows it about 2/5 charged, but it has been running. It's got to be more than 3 hours, because I know I did this. I should have. Oh, I switched it out. No, that wouldn't have made a difference because it's still. I don't know when I switched it out. Volts, amps, doesn't matter. That's 23.1 low watts. That's not going to change because that's the lowest it's been. 120.7. That's with the refrigerator plugged in. When I had that other stuff plugged in, it was, I think, about 80 watts. So right now it's at 90, 91, going up and down. Wow, it's going down. Now I wonder if that's... I have no idea why it's doing that. Probably because it's cold enough in there and it just shut off for a moment. Or it's at least slowed down because it doesn't have to work so hard to keep the insides cold. I hope that's the reason. This whole thing is just an experiment for me. Just learning all this stuff, as it were. But I got the fan running full tilt, and I got the refrigerator running full tilt, just to see how the generator works. So that's that. Just playing around, basically. Alright, I've come out to check this again. I turned off the fan and the charger, so okay, we're at 12.1 volts and 3 out of 5 bars, so it is going up. And at this point, the generator is just running the refrigerator, which you can see I've got kind of a makeshift hovel over it to protect it from the sun, so it's not heating up as much anyways. So, well, there's that. Just wanted to check it out. It's probably been out there about 7 hours now. Well, good morning. I just hooked the controller up to the solar panel, so you can see we're getting a lot of good sun this morning. And it's flipping between, I don't know, about 14.5 and 15 volts on the controller. I haven't hooked it up to the battery yet, but I just wanted to show you where we're at, because what I had done was I was using this all day yesterday with that mini fridge and the fan on the 3 high position, and that Ryobi battery charger. I had all 3 of those hooked up most of the day with the solar panel going to the generator here. And it was down to, at the end of the day, it was down to about 2 bars. The solar panel was not quite keeping up. It was overcast, and that was a lot of stuff I had plugged in. So I just want to show you what's going on.
So we're at 3 out of 5 bars on the battery indicator and right at 12 volts. So uh, for for the sake of total disclosure and authenticity, I had all three of those things running most of the day, and at the end of the day, when the battery was down to 2 bars and 11 point something going in volts, uh, I didn't I didn't want to drain the battery too much. I had no idea what today was going to be like, so I didn't know if I'd be able to recharge it with the solar. So what I did was I left the refrigerator hooked up because I wanted to run that all day to make sure it worked well anyways, and I disconnected the battery. I disconnected the battery charger, the Ryobi 18 volt battery charger, and the fan, just so there wasn't so much of a load on the generator. So there you go. So I'm just charging this battery up full today, so I'll be prepared when the zombies come, or we have a hurricane, or God forbid cats are living with dogs. Well, look at that. In any event, yeah, so I'm just recharging this. I just wanted to show, I guess, the tail end of what I had started yesterday, which was basically just making sure this thing works. I'm reluctant to hook it up without solar or anything connected to it, and well, if it's something small, yeah, I could do that, no problem. Uh, I've heard it two different ways. I've heard these deep cell batteries, if you run them below 50%, you're going to shorten the life considerably. And then I heard somebody else say, you know what, I've been using this generator all the way down to 0 for I don't know how long now, and it's never given me any problems. So, I don't know. I've got a feeling this is one of those things. I asked 3 different people, and I'm going to get 7 different answers. So, if I can, I will try to not run that battery down. If I'm in a pinch, if it's a choice between getting eaten by the zombies or living another day, I'm going to use that generator down to 0 if I have to. All right, thanks for watching.